of its balance sheet constant, so it keeps its current accommodative stance.
We have von Guru Bill Gross about the Fed's next move, the Greek confidence vote, and the health of the global economy. It's Nightly Business Report for Tuesday, June 21st.
This is Nightly Business Report with Susie Garrett and Tom Hudson. Nightly Business Report is made possible by
Smart global investing requires expertise from the ground up. With insights from local experts across the world, we have a unique perspective on global investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
This program is made possible by contributions to your PBS station.
You trying to fight
like you. Thank you.
You feel like you're catching a cold?
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. A triple-digit rally in blue chip stocks.
I had it
U.S.
on the last
investors
couple
were
of
counting
days,
on
so
a
I was
crucial
pretty
vote
bad
of
again.
confidence
I
from
was
the
trying
Greek
to go
government after
away.
the market closed. And Susie, that's exactly how it played out. Just a short while ago, the Greek parliament supported Prime Minister George Papandreou.
And you know, Tom, that vote of confidence removes a lot of uncertainty and could set a positive tone for trading here tomorrow. Now, another important factor for investors, a key meeting of the Federal Reserve. The central bank kicks off a two-day meeting today and is expected to continue its policy of keeping interest rates near 0%.
She walking around?
What remains unknown is where the Fed may be headed given the end of its bond buying strategy and the softer economy. Darren Gersh reports.
Inflation is higher than the Federal Reserve expected, unemployment somewhat worse, and growth a little slower. So the first order of business at their meeting this week is for Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke and his colleagues to adjust their forecast. But analysts like Tom Gallagher expect the Fed to continue to argue the recent slowdown in economic growth is temporary.
I think they do have to worry that the sustained path of the economy may just be weaker than they've been anticipating.
The Fed is almost certain to keep interest rate policy where it is.
So they were nice to you?
For an extended period. How extended will depend on the economy.
I think you have to measure it in terms of conditions. And as long as unemployment remains high and wages are not growing strongly, I don't think they have any reason to think about raising the Fed funds rate.
But that doesn't mean the Fed couldn't do more to stimulate the economy if it shows clear signs of sliding back into recession. Economist Vince Reinhardt wrote papers with then Fed Governor Ben Bernanke about unconventional policies the Fed could use to boost growth.
In principle, it could set the 6-month interest rate to 0, or it could go to the 2-year or the 5-year. So you expand the waterfront of what you cover. They could do that. I bet they'd be very uncomfortable about that.
Capping interest rates could be the third version of quantitative easing.
See them at all, they're black.
QE3. In the
Well,
first
they
two
don't know what
rounds of
they're talking
QE,
about
the
because
Fed
I have all
bought
the
$2
specs,
trillion
because I just
in
did
bonds
mine
in order to
and
drive
I still
down
have all the
interest rates.
specs and I know exactly
Actually,
how to do
capping
it.
interest rates would require the Fed to buy as many
they go
Treasury
freeze.
securities as needed to hit the cap, even if that meant buying up most of the market. And the only way the Fed would do that, Reinhardt says, is if there is another
That's all we
economic
need
crisis.
is some of that
Clear
grass
signs of
from
another
last year. Just
recession.
start saving your
If
mowers with
anything, the
it.
Fed is just going to hunker down, keep the size of its balance sheet constant, so it keeps its current accommodative stance, and just hope that provides enough stimulus to get the economy back on a better track. Hope's not always the best strategy, though.
The Fed did cap interest rates during World War II. That helped finance the war effort. But doing something like that now could be seen as helping finance the deficit effort. And calling that politically unpopular would be an understatement. Darren Gersh, Nightly Business Report, Washington.
So who told you you had to be 14
For more analysis, William Gross, he's the founder and chief investment
Well, you're supposed to have like 2 feet of gravel, so that's 2 feet,
Fund.
and then
Bill,
you're
so
on
nice
top
to
of
see you.
that, that's
Thank you, Susie. Nice to be here.
that's
So Bill,
2
you've
and a
been very
half
busy.
feet
You've
plus
been tweeting.
to-
You've been on
to 2
Twitter.
feet
You have
on
a
top
lot
of
of
that,
people
that's
following
about
what
3
you're
and a half feet
tweeting.
over
And
there.
I'd just like to start with one of the ones that caught everybody's attention. You said that recently the Fed statement will likely stress extended period of time language or
200
even a
feet,
period of
200
interest
feet.
rate caps. Now, you just heard our report about interest rate caps. Will
You're
that
only gonna
really
have
make
room in
a
that
difference
ditch for
to
about
help
100
the
feet of
economy if the
drain
Fed goes that way?
Well, I think ultimately it is, you see. I mean, it's important in the absence of formal cognitive using programs which are being discontinued now.
6 foot or 10 foot
continue to support
sections,
asset
or 8 foot
growth,
sections. I think they're 8 foot sections, yeah.
Objective stocks, and so on. And the least controversial way to do this is to keep short-term interest rates at current levels, and that's what the Fed calls an extended period of time. But historians and others such as Vince Reinhardt that you just spoke to have
so
also
figure
noted
if you need 13 of them, that's $10 a piece, or you need about $130
have
a price.
accomplished the same purpose. And so I think ultimately if the economy deteriorates, that we might
And I think the gravel haul out there will only be about $150.
quantitative easing 3 in the form of some type of cap.
A dump truck load that's
You talk
usually
about
yard and a
the
half,
economy
unless they have the big one
possibly
available, you can get 2
Are
yards.
we in for another recession?
I don't think so. Much depends, of course, upon the continued successful resolution of the Greek
Well, you just figure out
the
the
Portuguese and the Irish
tobacco thing.
crises in terms of their debt burden.
And I'll take care of everything else.
Absent that, I think the developing world, China, Asia, other strongly developing countries in terms of growth, are serving as the engine for the global economy, whereas in the past the United States
So have you heard anything from Jerome today?
above the line, but it will be a period of real economic growth that's very slow in comparison to what we're used to.
Now, you just talked about Greece, and we just reported about that crucial vote of confidence for the Greek Prime Minister Papandreou. You were tweeting about that as well today. Let's take a look at what you were telling. You said the risk rally is dependent on continuing good news from Greece. So now that the Greek government got that vote of confidence, can investors here cross Greece off of the security list?
Oh, goodness, no. I think ultimately the resolution for Greece involves some type of compromise between labor and capital, which to a certain extent means that
probably get about $6,000 out of it.
A small default in terms of Greek bonds. So this is just the first step really in terms of the global battle between labor and capital. It's most visible in Athens. Ultimately, I think it will occur around the world. It speaks to wages, it speaks to pensions, it speaks to entitlements. Going forward, and we're going to continue to see this for years to come.
Now, as you know, Bill, tomorrow Ben Bernanke, Chairman Ben Bernanke will be holding a press briefing after the Fed policy meeting. If you were a reporter at that gathering, what would you ask the Fed Chairman?
Well, I'd refer him to his helicopter speech of 2006.
Well, yeah, if I get the money from the treasury right away,
Possibilities for capping interest rates 6 months and 2 years and 5 years, and ask him specifically whether or not the meeting of the Fed suggests and what the possibilities for it would be going forward.
And what do you think he would say to you? What would be his answer?
Well, I think we would obfuscate to some extent. I mean, they put out language.
Well,
but the purpose
just that
of
lawnmower
the
will do it. You just got to get that
to
tall
allow
sheet down, and I'll let you
I
start
think
mow
we would
right
refer
now.
back to his own helicopter speech. That's a possibility. Should we approach deflationary conditions?
Yeah, I
We're not there yet, so that isn't an option that's actively on the table.
Bill Gross having some technical troubles with our feed from New York. William Gross, the founder and investment officer of Penfield. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Let's get to the stories in tonight's NBR News. We'll beginning with our major stock averages. Stocks rising ahead of a confidence vote on Greece's government. The Dow rose 109 points. The Nasdaq gaining more than 57.5. The S&P 500 added 17 and change. Trading volume, meantime, rose slightly from yesterday's pace. We saw almost 850 million shares moving across the big board, 1.9 billion shares on Nasdaq. Home sales once again during the height of the spring selling season. Sales in May fell to their lowest level in 6 months. The National Association of Realtors says existing home sales fell 3.8% to 4.8 million units. The median sales price also down, falling almost 5% to $166,500. JP Morgan Chase will pay almost $154 million to settle charges it misled investors in certain mortgage-backed securities.
And then you can sell the house, or what I'd like to do is set it up out there and sell it, and then people who are buying it have an option
to pick mortgages that went into the bundled securities while separately betting against those same mortgages. Harmed investors will get all of their money back. Still ahead tonight from the Greek debt crisis to the debt ceiling debate here in America. What's at stake for the U.S. dollar, and how could the dollar help or hurt corporate profits?
It was a volatile day of trading in world energy markets as traders focused on Spain as well as Greece. That's the International Monetary Fund warned that Spain faces considerable risk to economic recovery. In New York trading, crude oil futures gained 14 cents to settle at $93.40 a barrel. But crude prices are down more than $20 a barrel in just the last several weeks. And experts say that decline should be good news for the U.S. economy. Suzanne Pratt explains.
It might be hard to tell from the signs at this Manhattan gas station, but crude oil prices have recently dropped a lot. July crude futures are down nearly 20% in the last month. That's after hitting a high for the year of $114 a barrel in April. Why are prices falling? Experts say because of concern in energy markets about U.S. oil demand. That's as recent data shows the American economy hit a soft patch. Trader Ray Carbone says Europe's escalating debt crisis is also raising questions about global oil demand.
I think everyone is waiting to see what is going to happen with the no confidence vote in Greece, the selling of the package of austerity to the Parliament. What's going to happen with the Eurozone debt contagion fears?
Lower oil prices couldn't come at a better time for the U.S. economy. Not only has the nation's unemployment rate remained stubbornly low in the spring, but escalating gasoline costs are taking a big bite out of consumer spending. Economist Joe Davis says the drop in oil prices has made him more optimistic about the second half of the year.
I think that will be one reason why, more likely than not, this will turn out to be more of a soft patch than the start of a new recession. I think fairly it feels more like a pothole to many Americans, in part because of volatility in the financial markets, food and energy prices both being up, as well as the disruptions in Japan.
Still, experts say a spike in prices at the pump hurts the economy more than a decline in prices helps. That's because energy costs increases act as a tax on consumers and raise uncertainty for businesses. As a result, some say it would be helpful if crude oil prices were to fall even further in the coming weeks. Traders think uncertainty is a possibility.
I think we're approaching the mid-80 level, 85 to 88, that's where we began this whole rally from with Libya and Tunisia spurring us higher. I think we may revisit that price level.
It takes longer for prices at the pump to catch up with the decline in crude oil futures. The price of gasoline has only dropped about 5% in the last month. But experts say look for it to fall even further in the coming weeks. Suzanne Pratt, Nightly Business Report, New York.
Okay. Okay.